All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the Comet Chronograph. This is a Kickstarter campaign that should release on the 27th of this month, so August 27th of 2019. Today I'm posting it on the 20th. I talked to the owner and creator of all this, Bhavin. He actually lives in my home state of Michigan. He's much further south of me, but this has been his project and baby for a while now, and he's finally got it dialed in where he's going to launch. There's been some changes. Obviously, this was a prototype, and there was some big significant changes over this, and I already think this is really good. So I'm excited to possibly see the dial upgrades was the main thing that he ended up switching up, and these dials are really cool, and I'm going to put a link to the Comet Kickstarter in the description. Definitely go check it out. There are some crazy color combinations for the dial, and I think they just look spectacular. I think you could really have a lot of fun with this. This could be a very colorful watch indeed, and I think that's something that is always nice to have in a collection. You know, something a little more fun, a little more vibrant, something that pops. So let's talk about the case size real quick. Just under 42, so it's like 41.5 millimeter, actually like 41.6 millimeter case width. The lug to lug is a 48.3. You can see it's mostly brushed, and then you have the polished pushers, crown, and then the bezel, but the case is pretty much all brushed. 13 millimeter thick. That includes that bubbled out crystal there. This is a K1 crystal with anti-reflective coating on it, and it has a sapphire treatment over the top. And the reason a lot of companies use that method is to get the look. It's, they could easily go with a sapphire for about the same price, but they're not going to achieve the look that they're after. So like, I'm not going to name any companies, but there's a bunch of companies that do this method. And I've heard and read comments about people saying that it's, to cheap out and stuff. It's really not. It's the effect that they're trying to achieve with the design. So 13 mil thick. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit thinner if you exclude the crystal. 22 millimeter lug width. You can see the case shape there. A little bit different than, standard lugs where they just kind of come to a point. These kind of round out, and then they have a little point on the backside there. So interesting feature there. I'll give you a wrist shot here in a little bit. It will come with a top grain Horween leather. This is leather out of Chicago, actually. So it's super good strap. Screw down case back here. It is a quartz movement. You can see there it says Miyota 6S11. And again, the reason that particular movement or quartz movement was sourced for this is to achieve the dial layout that he was after. So the sub registers at the top and bottom there, of course, you have a ticking seconds hand, and a lot of you guys know. Here we can zoom in too. A lot of you guys know I've had a lot of watches on the show here with the Mecha Quartz, and if I recall, a lot of those movements don't have a running seconds, so it's kind of annoying, and I know there's some other ones out there too, so it's nice to have that actual running seconds. And then of course you have a nice audible click, and then you can get that chronograph hand going. On the outside perimeter there is a tachometer, and there's actually a little red arrow up there, so a pretty cool layout. And then in that inner rotating whatever you want to call it, the register and the inside there is actually a telemeter. Now both these, I don't know how many people that are watching this video are going to use either one of those features. I know I don't, and I suspect most of you guys don't, but it's cool to see it all on the watch dial. So it's very dynamic. This one, of course, is like almost like a denim blue with like a yellow Forsythia type Arabic numbers going around there. And then, of course, the red chronograph hand, and then the sub registers, and then I don't know what kind of hand set that is for the minute and hour hand, but it really looks good, and there are some really cool funky colors. So now when you stop this and then you reset it, you're going to get a sweep all the way back to the 0 mark. So very smooth, very clean. And I urge you to definitely take a look at these because the price on them is going to be really good too. So at launch, I believe, I'm not sure how many, but at launch, the prices, I don't think this changed. So don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure we discussed it was supposed to be $199. So there it is on my 7 1/4. Of course, it fits great, looks great. I think the holes on the leather are going to be a little bit smaller too. I think that's what he said. There was some changes over this prototype, and I'm not covering all of them, but definitely look at the campaign and you'll see they're subtle because this was pretty well sorted. But like I said, the big thing was that dial change. The manufacturer of the dial, he went with a more superior manufacturer to get the exact dial look that he was after. So introductory price, I think, is $199. As soon as those run out, I think you're going to be able to get them for $229, and that's going to come with pretty, entry level like presentation and stuff like that. The focus is more on the watch because getting dials produced custom the way you want them, that kind of ramps up the price on the watch, probably more so than you think. Definitely competes with and maybe surpasses the cost of like a case or a strap. The dial can really jack the price up. That's why you'll see a lot of dials on these Kickstarters and stuff like that. They're a little more plain-ish. This is definitely not plain. The colors and the printing and everything he picked are just phenomenal. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, but really most of them should be answered if you just click on the link in the description and do a little bit of reading. The Miyota 6S11 chronograph quartz movement, I know the Mecha quartz gets a lot of love and stuff like that, but this is a really good movement. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Big thanks to Bhavin for lending this guy over for us to check out, and I wish him luck with the campaign, although I don't think he's going to need it. I think when people see the price and they see the color options, this is a pretty easy $200 watch. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next vid. I can give you a lume shot. I don't know what lume he used, but it is on the hour and minute. It's not on the Arabics. And I'm not surprised on that because when you start playing with those colors like he does, like the focus is more on the colors and not the lume. So, all right, guys, I'll see you on the next vid.